Hi, guys. Welcome back to Loading Her. I'm Haley Binkley. I know it's been a while. I took a little break. I am trying to update my equipment and learn how to do a better job at editing. So bear with me. I'm excited for this next phase of Loading Her season 2. And I'm so happy you guys are still here with me. So, as always, I like to record my podcast based on what is going on in my life. And recently, life has been good. I am constantly working on myself, trying to figure out how to be where I want to be with my life by the time I'm a certain age. Recently, well, actually, let's see, since I got into my 20s, since I was about 20, I made a plan for myself that I have followed pretty strictly based on goals that I want to accomplish, such as buying my first house by the time I was 22 or 23 years old. That was a goal that I wanted. And I knew that I had wanted that because I am trying to create generational wealth for my family. Even though I don't have kids right now, I'm trying to set up my life to where I can take care of my parents when they're old. I can take care of my children when I do decide to have them, where I am taken care of. I have seen a lot of, especially when people get older, money is very important. And unfortunately, I had to learn that the hard way by watching my grandma and close friends, grandparents go through stuff. And it really is a reality that we don't think about a lot. What happens when we get old and who takes care of us and who makes decisions for us and what our quality of life is going to look like. So I have created I'm working to create a life or a situation to where I can take care of the people that I love when they're old and that I am taken care of when I'm old. So the goals I have planned for myself and worked to accomplish. So now that I'm in my 30s, things look a little different. I have had these plans to purchase properties and have rental properties and potentially flip houses. But there's a lot of work that goes into that and a lot of research that goes into that. And my first step was getting my realtor's license, my real estate license, because I think that that is a good way to learn about the industry, to move forward in purchasing my own properties, get to see the listings firsthand, and also a good way to make money. I am always looking for different ways to create income for myself. So that was one of the goals that I had set for myself. And I don't know. It's weird once you put the ball in motion, and not that it's scary anymore because I feel like I've put the ball in motion. I've seen what I'm capable of, and I do feel more so in the real estate world, and that feels good. It gives me some confidence. I have recently made a post to other realtors in the area and explained to them that I would like to hold open houses at their listings to try to get some more exposure and to get my name out there. So it's really hard for me to learn that things take time, because I am very much a person that is a go-getter, I guess would be how the best way to describe it. I not necessarily want what I want now, but I do. And having to learn that it takes time to build wealth, having to learn that it takes time to get your name out there in the real estate world, it's teaching me patience. And with that patience, I'm also learning to rest. Being, I guess, type A, as they call it, makes it very difficult for me to learn how to rest. I mean, give myself grace, rest, because I am very goal oriented, and I feel like if I sit for a minute, or if I do something that I enjoy, or if I rest, I am potentially missing out on something that I could be learning or creating for my future. And a lot of people come up to me in my day to day, and they're like, wow, you're really doing a lot. You're really doing it all. But I feel personally that I'm sitting on my ass, like not doing enough. Not, I feel like I have free time. And now that I have my podcast and I have the real estate stuff and I have the bartending and the rental properties, like I've figured out where I want to be and how I want to dive deeper into the world of real estate, owning properties, having rentals, potentially being somebody that people can come to if they need help learning how to put their property up for rent on Airbnb or VRBO, be a consultant for people. I definitely have figured out where I want to be and how I want to move forward. It's just a matter of getting the exposure and figuring out what my next steps are. So, with that being said, I guess I'm just explaining kind of where I am in my life and what I'm learning. And it definitely feels like a dormant, not dormant, because I'm not just not doing anything, but it definitely feels, for one, it feels very exciting to know the direction that I want to be headed into. And then it also feels like, okay, now what, kind of, because it is going to take patience and it is going to take me getting the exposure and just really doing all the steps of putting my name out there and building my community and building my brand as a realtor. So, right now in my life where I am, I'm learning patience and I'm learning to rest. And funny enough, that I didn't realize that this was kind of going hand in hand with where I'm at in my life as well. But I've started archery and I've been bow hunting with Dustin, my boyfriend, and there's a lot of patience that goes into hunting in general. If you've ever been hunting, it's peaceful and patience. And you're just sitting there for hours at a time waiting to hopefully see a deer, especially since we're hunting public because we don't have private land right now to be hunting on. It's definitely a lot of patience. So I never realized that, I don't know, it feels like everything's kind of in sync right now. And it feels like, even right now, I'm sitting in my studio at my house, this little studio that I've created for myself. We had a leak in the wall recently, and we've had to tear one of the walls down, and I'm looking at the hole in the wall. We're about to have to remodel this whole room. Being a homeowner comes with a lot of patience as well. And that is hard for me to learn. It's been, we've been in this house a year now and it's still not done. Will it ever be done? There's constantly things that we're fixing or having to tear down or cut holes in walls and replace things, but that comes with it. So I guess all I'm saying is it's okay to be at a point in your life, if you are goal oriented like me, where it feels like kind of calm. And I really feel like there's always a lesson to be learned. So I try to pay attention and I try to listen and observe situations that I find myself in. And sitting here now talking with you guys, I am realizing how aligned everything feels like it is with patience and learning new things and being in new environments, like moving into a new home. I've also been doing more of a strict diet than I ever have been in my life and working out and trying to align my health and my body with how I want to look and feel. As you guys know, probably, getting into your 30s, everything starts to change a little bit and you get used to being one way in your 20s and then you start getting into your late 20s and your 30s and things start to change and you have to change. You have to realign. So, with all of that, I'm learning patience as well. Patience with my body and trying to listen to what I need, figure out what I need, and use food as fuel. So, yes, it's been a lot of patience, a lot of leaning into rest and listening and trusting. Trusting the higher power, whatever it may be or look like for you or for me. It could be the same, it could be different, but definitely trusting that there is a plan out there for me and trusting myself to make the right decisions and to align myself with the goals and the plans that I make for myself and the decisions that I choose to make. So I've got some surprising, I've got some exciting things on the horizon. Hopefully, loading her goes in the direction that I have planned for it, and I will be able to do a lot of the things that I am hoping to accomplish this season. Excuse me. My nose just got itchy. This cold weather is crazy. Anyways, I don't ever want to feel like I'm just rambling or that I don't have anything to share with you guys. I do feel like today I am recording an episode to kind of open the door for season 2. I hope to have some guests on, exciting guests, and I don't want to give away too much because I do have some things in the works and I'm not really sure what it's going to look like quite yet, but I am excited to move forward. So I feel like starting this podcast was definitely something that was scary for me and for me to go out of my comfort zone and record 10 episodes and have guests on. And it was such a fun learning experience. And I really cannot wait to see where season 2 takes me. I do feel like I learned a lot. I have looked back on some of my first few episodes, and it's just funny. I mean, I'm not saying I'm from a completely evolved place to where I have editing down 100% and sound down 100%, but I need to put my slippers back on. My toes are getting cold. It's cool to see accomplishments and what we're capable of when we go out of our comfort zone and when we push past the things that scare us. I definitely feel less nervous when I go to record, and I feel more like I trust myself to come up with an outline for an interview. I trust myself to lean into this brand that I've created. I am representing one of the hats. Let's see. I think it's on this side. The Loading Her podcast hats. This is the Hustle and Power Rise baseball multicolored hat. I can't think of what it's called on the website now, but I love creating the merch. I think it's a lot of fun. And this is just like really a one-woman show, and all of the advertisement you see, all of the merch that you see, all of the editing you see, recording, all of it is me. I am literally doing all of this on my own with occasional help from my other half, who is way more technologically savvy than I am. But it's been fun, and it's really cool to see how far that I have come. Even though, I'm not top podcast in the world or whatever, but it's cool to see once you get your voice out there, the people that come forward and tell you, that they listen. Or even the other day I was at work and I put my little stickers, my podcast stickers everywhere, and it has a QR code that you can scan. And one of my customers came up to me and she was like, "Hey, is this you? Do you sing or something?" And I was like, "No, I have a podcast." And she was like, "You know what? I actually found you on YouTube and saw your channel before I met you. And I'm from Washington State." And I was like, wow, that's really cool that I am reaching people all over the United States. And I hope that I continue to do so. And I hope that Loading Her goes in a direction to where we can really make a difference and help women along the way. Something else that I have learned through doing this podcast and through my learning to rest era, while also hustling, I think rest and hustle go hand in hand. I feel like this brand that I have created for myself is very much like, let's hustle, let's empower, let's rise, empower each other, let's rise together. But I do think with hustle, rest is also something important. And with that being said, I do very much feel like I have been in my soft girl era. A lot of people in my life have, even just recently, somebody had just told me that I was somebody that intimidated them or scared them. And I definitely feel like I have, throughout my life, had a tough girl persona that I have tried to protect myself with. And I feel like it definitely showed up when I was very young in a toxic relationship with someone that was not safe for me and not somebody that could be trusted with my heart like I gave them. So I ended up being in this weird part of my life where for years, I mean, it had to have been, let's see, when I was 14 up until very recently, I, especially when it came to men, and even sometimes still, have this tough girl persona. And I know it is like a way of protecting myself, but also it is a part of who I am too. Because when I'm with Dustin or my friends or people that are close to me, I don't feel like that is the person that I am. So it's definitely people that I am not close with that I feel like I am this like tough girl. And the older I get and the more I'm leaning into the person that I think I am supposed to be or have become, I notice that I'm actually a big softie, which I've already known that I was a big softie, an emotional person, very sensitive. I mean, when I'm with Dustin, I sometimes definitely lean more into my softness and let him be the masculine energy. I mean, there are certain situations, we have our flow, we have our balance where there are certain things that I am more dominant to, and he has certain things that he's more dominant to. But definitely, I more so lean into my feminine energy when I'm around him because he has a safe masculine energy. And I think that that is something I've never really been able to have. And it has given me the peace and the safety to feel like I can express myself more so artistically, be more open with how I'm feeling, not only with him. I mean, obviously with him, I feel like I've always been kind of good about talking about how I'm feeling with him more so than other relationships, but definitely having the peace to grow outside of my emotional self. I have had to be very protective over the little girl in me and the trauma that's there throughout my life. And now I do feel like a sense of safety for her, for little Haley. So I'm very much in my soft girl era. I'm learning how to be a woman, as I said in my past season, and getting to be more so, I don't know, more girly, even though I am and always will be somewhat tomboy. So I don't know. It's just been kind of cool to see how I've evolved, and it honestly gives me somewhat of a like not attachment, but somebody that somebody from my past, like me in my past, is somebody that I feel like I don't really recognize anymore, and I'm trying to figure out that connection to decisions that I made that I might not be proud of, or the way that I represented myself before. I don't know. It's weird to explain because I definitely feel like there's a part of me that I don't really like not remember, but I don't remember what I was thinking, or I don't remember like certain things that I did. I'm not saying that they were bad things, but I'm just saying like it's like what was going on in my head then. I don't resonate with certain parts of me anymore. So I do hope that through obviously I feel like through looking inward, I'm going to be able to figure out where all those pieces connect into one whole person. like the different phases of my life. But I don't know. I think in time I will get to see. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm even making sense anymore. I'm really just, I feel like catching up with you guys and telling you kind of where I'm at and what I've been thinking and working on. And I, oops, I would like to stay on brand of what I think loading her is. I would like to continue to let you guys know where I am headed with this. And I am also along the way still figuring it out. So bear with me. As always, loading her, I want to be a foundation for us to express ourselves, not just me, but anyone to express themselves and to share their stories and to talk through what they've been learning, what they've been feeling, because I really think that everyone's story has somewhat of a connection to what you may be going through or what I may be going through. So, you know, the human experience, especially as women. Maybe eventually I will have men on here too, and it can be more of like the human experience itself. But right now, where I'm at, I'm going to stick with the women. And hopefully, we can all see how similar we are and how we have similar thoughts, and we can learn from each other and what works for us. And what works for me might not work for you, but hopefully, I can have a guest on that may have some kind of advice or something that works for them that may resonate with you. Or maybe you just want to listen to some people talk for an hour while you're washing your dishes. Whatever it may be, I am just really excited to see that we are creating this foundation, this herd, and I just have some really big ideas for this brand. And I just hope that you guys will come along with me to create it into something big and beautiful. And I really think that we can do it. I just, obviously, with your help, you listening, liking, sharing, subscribing, all of the things help get loading her more exposure. And that's all we can do, you know? I would also like to share something else that I've had to learn in my hiatus that I've taken these past few weeks. I've had to learn about I don't know if I need to call it forgiveness or love with somebody that I care about deeply misunderstanding me. And I kind of feel like somebody who has misunderstood me. I mean, right now where I'm sitting, it feels like this person has misunderstood me my whole life if they're seeing me from a perspective that they have voiced they are seeing me through. Not directly to me, but I have heard through somebody else. And it's really made me do a deep dive into, honestly, this past year has made me do a deep dive into perception. Like, your perception is your reality, and the way that you view yourself is not always how other people view you. And I shouldn't even say not always. How you view yourself is not how other people view you. You know, people view you through their lens of trauma and lessons and whatever's going on in their head. And it really is a crazy concept if you think about it. It's crazy to think that you can go through life believing that you're one way, especially when it comes to certain relationships with people that you care about deeply and that you love deeply. And they could have just, in your opinion, the wrong perception of you and how you've tried to be supportive to them and loving to them. And I don't know, it's just really crazy. I have also had to learn. I am such a direct person, and I'm such a person that when I love you, I want to have you in my life, and I want us to be on the same page with love and forgiveness. I'm not really somebody that holds a grudge. And especially when there's misunderstandings involved, which I feel like has been a reoccurring thing in my life with different people, some people that I'm very close to, and some people that I am not really close to. But I've had to learn to surrender things to God, a higher power, the universe. Surrender things that weigh heavy on my heart to points that I feel sadness, deep sadness, and just kind of sending these people love. And God, that's something so hard to do, you know, when you love somebody and your definition of love and what that looks like for you is different than what it looks like for them. And some people like to hold grudges, and some people like to have anger or resentment or express their pain in different ways and call it setting boundaries. I mean, I don't really understand that perspective because that's just not how I am, and I'm not judging it if you are that way, but I've had to sit back and pray and release something that's out of my control. I and love something I do feel like is very common for me is to learn how to love from afar. That's something I have had to learn in the past, and you know, set people free even if I have loved them deeply because they have hurt me. But this relationship is different. It's not somebody that I can just let go like a bad boyfriend or a friendship that isn't serving me. This is somebody that's going to be in my life for the rest of my life. And it's somebody that I have to step back from and love from afar because they don't want to forgive me. And that's fine. I, it just really has got me to thinking about relationships with my parents, relationships with my siblings, my other family members, and how we handle trauma that runs deep in family relationships, and how we handle trauma that we feel like exists but doesn't exist because of us, but somehow I don't want to say we're getting blamed for it, but somehow it made the lines blurry along the way because we were all just essentially doing what we could to protect ourselves, and somewhere along the way the lines got blurry, and I don't know. I haven't really dove deep into my relationship with my parents and my family. Obviously, we were all speaking and on good terms. And, I haven't really dove deep into my childhood quite yet because, for one, I don't know how to do that yet. I don't know how to, I'm unsure how I'm going to express all of that. And I would like to maybe have one of my siblings on with me when I do talk about this, but I don't know. I haven't really dove deep enough into my story and things that have shaped me into the person that I am. And I will eventually when I'm ready, when other people are ready that are involved in this story. I really hold the people I love near and dear to my heart. And it's heavy a lot of the times. So I don't know. It's heavy to me because you can't control other people and how they're feeling and the choices that they make for themselves. And I want the people that I love to make the best decisions. I want them to be safe and healthy and happy. And I want to be around them. And it's definitely to a point to where it pains me to see people that I love in situations that may be harming themselves or any kind of bad decision that is not going to help them grow to be the best version of themselves that they can be. And that's been something that's really hard for me to learn, having to let go of people that are very close and near and dear to my heart. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get emotional, but it's really weird family dynamics. And eventually, hopefully, there will be some level of peace. And if it's not peace with those people, it's peace within myself and with the situation and how it's supposed to be. And I already know I am going to struggle with having children because people that I love deeply, I mean, the only way I can think to describe is I carry them right here. You know what I mean? I carry them very close to my heart. And oh God, having kids, it's going to be hard for me. But I don't know. I feel like I'm not really making sense anymore, but relationships are weird and loving people is weird, and loving people that don't necessarily want you to love them or help them or guide them is really weird. And it's also weird that I feel like I'm in a place to where I have any kind of guidance that I can offer someone. I don't feel like I am sitting on this high horse. I don't even know where this calling is coming from, but I do feel like I have done a lot of work to find myself and to figure out who I am and how life works and how relationships work and how people work and think. And I don't know. It makes me want to share it, not from a place of like, I know everything, but it just makes me want to share what I've learned because I wish that somebody would have shared with me things that they've learned. And I've done a lot of searching, and I'm constantly searching and observing. And I don't know. I just feel like right now I'm in a place where I want to share. I want to share what I've been through. I want to let other people know that they're not alone and create this community of like-minded people, like-minded women. And I'm just going to keep sharing. I'm going to keep sharing where I'm at and what I'm thinking. And I don't know if it's going to make any sense. I'm going to get better at the editing. And I'm going to keep sharing my stories. And I hope that you will share your stories with me. And I'm going to wrap up today's episode just, I guess, reminding you that wherever you're at is okay. And whatever you have going on in your life, personally, my own opinion, all that matters is the people that love you and care about you. At the end of the day, it's not about what you have, even though I'm very much a person that is trying to create security through what I have and what, makes me feel safe and a foundation. But at the end of the day, really all that matters is love and how you treat other people and how you move forward in life. And I guess all I'm trying to say is I don't really know what I'm trying to say. I don't really know, honestly. I love how when I'm like thinking, I like rub my invisible goatee. I don't even know if I'm going to post this episode. I don't even know. I don't even know. But I do feel better after talking. I do feel like I have gotten somewhere. But like expressing the things that I've already realized in my head for other people to listen to, but also try to be cryptic because and not like feel like make anybody feel like I'm putting them on blast. It's interesting. It's very interesting. Anyway, so I'm not mumbling or going on about nothing. I do appreciate you guys for listening to me. I really hope that anything that I share, some of what I share, all of what I share, what my guests that I bring on, any of it resonates with you. And I really hope to see this podcast going somewhere great where we can really make a difference in the lives of each other and the lives of people that may need it more than we do, the lives of women, the lives of each other, the lives of whoever. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys for listening. As always, feel free to share your story with me, what you're going through, how you're feeling, whatever. Honestly, whatever. If you hate the podcast, if you think I talk too much, if I don't make sense, whatever it is. I just want to hear from you. I just want to hear that you guys are listening. You can write in at loading.her podcast. No, loadingher.podcast. Now I don't know what my email is because I haven't done this in so long. I haven't recorded a podcast in a long time. loading.herpodcast@gmail.com. You can DM me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it may be. I thank you guys for listening to me ramble about nothing today. I am going to try to edit this and hopefully make it sound good. I'm going to figure out what happened with that camera, and I might not even post this episode. I don't even know. But I really love you guys. And if I do post this episode, thank you for listening. You guys make me very happy, and you really help make this vision something special. So thank you. As always, I'm Haley Binkley, and this is Loading Her Podcast. We'll talk soon, guys. Love you. Bye.